I screwed up. I just caused myself, I don't know, extra hour or two worth of work. I'm taking the water maker back with us, at least the Clark pump side, because it's still broken. I'd like to just take it home and fix it, ship it off to the factory or whatever I gotta do. Thought it was completely unhooked, like unbolted. It's not. There's 2 bolts still in this thing. And I had to access the quarter berth to get there. We just piled a whole bunch of stuff in the quarter berth. Like, it is packed. So now I get to unpack it all to get 2 bolts out so I can get our water maker out. It's hot, it's humid. We got one more day left. Should have paid more attention, I guess. I kind of screwed up. What do? I'm gonna go backwards a couple hours before I can go forward. Our water maker is in here. But you see that bolt right there? And that bolt right there? They're bolted in from underneath that piece of plywood. I've got to take everything out to get to that. I cannot do it from the top. The bolts are just spinning. We got to move all that stuff because of my little oversight. I've got to take all the tools out of the back too. Like, everything that we packed has got to go back out. Oh man. Did I mention it's hot back here too?
Buy a boat, he said.
I buried this water maker back in here because I wasn't supposed to have to touch this part of the system. Yeah, lesson learned.
It's driving me crazy. That's all right though, we're almost there. We are almost there.
This is the glamorous side of cruising. Living in a disaster at the moment. Oh man, what a nightmare. What a mess. All right, let's get this done so we get our boat back together. Little boat yoga in the morning. All right, you ready? I can't get in far enough. I thought you were ready.
Well, I thought I was too, but I can't quite reach. I'm actually hanging upside down. Okay.
Hard. Stop. Let me know when you're ready.
Oh shit.
I'm ready.
I think it went off.
That's it.
And he said I had it easy. Problem is I'm too short to reach all of the important holds. I have to say that him making that access up there made it so much easier to access the water maker. I wish we would have thought of that in the very beginning. So, a little bit of upside down or laying on your back, but it's actually pretty simple to get to it.
There it is. There's my carry-on, my luggage for the trip home.
Aren't you glad you're going in a truck?
Yeah, we were lucky enough to find a ride across the border. Where are we going?
Flagstaff.
Clear to Flagstaff, which saves us, 2 hours of driving Sunday. This other cruising couple was here and they heard we were looking for a ride home. back to the States, and they offered us a seat in their truck, which also allows us to take a few things home and not to deal with borders. Before we were gonna take a shuttle, we would have had to like walk across the border with our stuff and then get in another shuttle. It's kind of an event. This is so much easier. The cruising community is just on top. They're just really nice.
They are some of the kindest, nicest, quickest to help people we've ran into. It makes you really evaluate yourself and make sure that you're thinking of others a little bit more than yourself. It's kind of nice to be back in that mindset of just an automatic, yes, I'm gonna help, or yes, I've got this, you can have it, without thinking, what am I getting from it, or what am I going to lose by handing it over to someone else, or is it gonna put me out? So it is refreshing, it really is. Thank you, Boomerang.
One of the other things we have to do to put the boat to bed is we need to run some fresh water through the diesel engine, get all the salt out of it, so it doesn't sit here and just rot away for us. So we ran a garden hose, or 3 or 4 of them. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna open up this sea strainer and we're gonna run water directly into it, and hopefully we have enough water pressure and volume to run this thing. We barely have enough water, barely keeping the sea strainer full. We gotta run water through it or we'll mess up the impeller. The impeller will get too hot and the little rubber vanes will disintegrate. We'll keep an eye on the temps, make sure it keeps flowing, but I think we're okay. The goal is to get it up to temperature. And then we'll shut it off and we'll drain the rest of the system out. We got her up to operating temperature, let it run for a little while. I think we're pretty good. I'm gonna pull the zinc out of the heat exchanger, drain the water back out of this thing, let it sit dry for the summer.
That's it. That's the pressure we get. Take advantage of the high pressures at home.
We are still old school. We still have some golf cart batteries, 6-volt lead acid. We have to water our batteries. They usually don't take much though. I just want to top them off. We are going to leave this boat here for the summer. I don't want them to go dry. They're probably fine. I topped them off about a month ago, but I'd like to do a good check.
It's a little low.
All right, and before you guys give me any crap, this is not drinking water. Okay, this is actually distilled water that we put in this bottle. It's hard to find in Mexico, so when you find it, you take as much as you can and you fill up a bottle. That's about it for the battery. So all we're gonna do when we leave is I'm just gonna turn off the battery switches. I think I'm gonna leave everything hooked up. I don't see why I need to unhook all the cables. I'm just gonna disconnect all the power and all the breakers.
That looks terrible.
That's not good. I was just going through all the fuses, turning everything off, and we noticed that some of the connectors are actually melted. That means something's getting a little bit hotter than it should be. It hasn't tripped a breaker. Something's melting together. I don't know if it's a combination of power and the engine exhaust, but we'll have to sort this out when we get back. I'm just gonna disconnect it for now so nothing can happen while we're gone, and bring some parts back with us. So the last thing we need is an electrical fire.
This just feeds my case for the label maker. I don't know why you're fighting me on the label maker. If you'd let me go crazy, we probably wouldn't have a mystery on our hands, but then it wouldn't be fun. He doesn't like it when I'm right.
It's not about being right or wrong. I'd like to know where that fuse goes.
You have everything labeled in there. I don't know why now it's different.
That fuse block that was melted together is actually coming from our battery charger from our shore power connection. But nothing's hot on it right now, so I don't know if it just melted because of the engine exhaust. The heat goes in there and they were touching and they just kind of melted together a little bit, or if it is an over current type situation where the wires are getting just too hot. Battery charger's on right now, pushing out amps, and it's not warm at all, so I'm not quite sure what's going on. We will sort that out when we get back. I will order some more parts and we'll keep a better eye on this thing. This goes to our water maker and our saltwater foot pump. I disconnected it from the through hole. I'm actually going to leave this through hole open. And this is now going to be our bilge drain because I've unhooked all the bilge pumps. So we're going to stick this in a bucket. We're going to pump out all this nasty seawater out of our lines.
Oh! We should have done this day one.
We've also got to decommission the dinghy motor. I've been reading through the owner's manual here. I've already washed fresh water through it. It also says that I need to remove the spark plugs and put a teaspoon of engine oil or spray storage oil into the combustion chamber through the spark plug holes. Turn the starter motor several turns to lubricate inside the cylinder. That's next on my list. I'm gonna grab some wrenches, some tools. I do have a ladder outside, so this will be pretty easy. Pull in plugs, dump a little bit of oil in it.
Easy. Clunk.
What's up? How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
Well, just hanging out, back of my boat, you know. Spark plugs are in there horizontal. I'm gonna have to go find a funnel or a straw or something so I can dump a little bit of oil in these things.
I think I'm a little bit of a genius. I found a straw from a tumbler. I'm gonna have to sacrifice it, and a bunch of my funnels, and of course duct tape. I think this is gonna work, and then it'll become part of your kit. Gotta be gentle, you better not break this, or you're gonna have oil everywhere. But I think that might work.
Like a half teaspoon to you. It's also good to just do a little visual when you have things apart. So I like to look at all the little bolts and the cables and just kind of do just a visual, see if I see anything obvious. I think it's, you know, you might as well while you're in here. It's amazing what you can find maintenance wise just by kind of poking around a little bit every now and then.
A little bit further towards. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of the adventures. A very special thanks to our patrons who help keep the creative juices flowing.